my valve buckets in, which might be a week or two. So we're gonna go work on the STI. Forgot to grab the keys to the shop. I do this every single time. They're in the WRX somewhere. They're right there. Fun Volkswagen key flip. I just had 2 gas station corn dogs on the way here, so we'll see how long my stomach lasts before it turns against me. But the main thing I want to get done today is actually get this wide body, finish the cutting, get everything like actually riv nutted on. A lot of people are like, you should mold it, you should do hidden hardware, you should do all that stuff. I actually don't mind. So I bought Downstar hardware for this car. The Downstar hardware looks nice. I also like having the easy accessibility to be able to get to the riv nuts fairly easily, to be able to remove the wide body when needed. I do have seam sealer. We may be welding the rear quarter panels today. I'm gonna try to. We might start trimming up this rear section here for the gas cap to get everything to sit nice and flush. I actually might just get a Dremel and come back and do it with a Dremel. That seems like the smarter idea versus trying to use a bench grinder or anything like that. So I think we're gonna start off today. We'll just start off on the front right fender. We have our holes drilled now so we can pull off the Clecko clamps, pull off the over fender, drill out the holes, get the riv nuts installed, and then kind of cut away the rest of the fender that's not really needed. And then we can get that guy permanently on. We'll just move down the car and start doing all of them. So front fender's bolted on for the most part. I do have to do a little bit of clearancing for some of the hardware. We have these nice little beauty washers that go around all of the hardware, and the body kit just kind of protrudes where I drilled the holes. That's my fault, not the body kit's fault. So I can just come in there with a small Dremel, just kind of flatten it out a little bit so that way the beauty washers can sit flush, and this will keep this down. Cut up the vents so that way there's no more fender behind the vent here. The one part that I did say we'd have to get a little creative on is over here. So I think we're just gonna have to weld a little bit of aluminum to the fender to have it extend out a little bit for this piece to bolt onto. Shouldn't be a big deal. I can just order some aluminum to be able to get that down, and then that'll sit nice and flush. My dummy self misdrilled one hole. Oops. Fixable, but oops. Now let's jump up to the rear section here on the door. Once we get the door done, we'll come back here, start getting the holes drilled for this, and then kind of start figuring out where we have to cut for the rear section. I'm not excited to cut the rear section of the car. Fenders are replaceable. Rear quarter panel, not so easy to replace. So I'm gonna take my time, make sure I do this right. Actually, you know what? We might just start on this piece. I don't know. No, we'll do the door first. We'll start on the door, go from there. Rear door section is bolted down. Yeah, I gotta wait to use the beauty washers that I have down there because I need to Dremel out just a little bit more of this body kit right here. So I'll go to we'll go to Home Depot as a unit, as a squad, and as a Smeedia team to go get a Dremel for this. I think I might actually just buy the Dremel brand one. And this is what I want to talk about, so you guys can see how the bottom right there definitely sticks out past. When you open the door, there is this entire section, which you can't even see. Come on, there's that entire section of the body kit which will bring it to the door. So I'll probably just self-tapper these in because, or I could use like 3M tape on there. Not entirely sure. Look at how much more clearance we have. Jesus fuck. And then the other thing is, if you're installing this kit, there's 2 things that you need to do, or Varus kit because they install relatively similar. On this top hole right here, make sure that you do cut the screw down. You are gonna ding the inside of the body just a little bit right there. I'll probably honestly just tap it in with a hammer to make clearance. The other thing that you want to make sure is that you have enough clearance right up here to where the body kit doesn't go all the way to the end of the door, because when you open the door, you have to make sure that the body kit clears the door like ours does. If not, you're gonna run into problems. So now that this section is done, I kind of want to hold off on doing this piece, to be honest. I might actually hold off on that. I ain't gonna hold off on that for right now. We're gonna jump over, we're gonna do the other rear door section. Actually, no, we'll jump, what do I wanna do? We'll do the other rear door section on the other side just to get that done with. I did exactly on this side what I literally just told you guys not to do on the other side, and I pushed this panel a little too far forward. Luckily, it still clears and everything like that. I think this side was just made a little bit differently in the castings. So now I'm just gonna jump on this piece back here. I'm not gonna be cutting this fender quite yet. I'm gonna wait to do that. The main thing I wanna do today is kind of get all of these guys Cleckos out of here so that way this guy's actually bolted up. I don't know if I'm actually gonna be able to use the dress up washers that I have. I mean, that doesn't look terrible. This is not a show car. Keep that in mind. Some people are like, Tanner, it's gonna be a show car and everything like that. I'm not building this car to be a show car. I'm not building it to be 100% perfect. I'm building it because I want to build it. Simple as that. So I'm not shooting for 100% perfection here. I'm gonna shoot for like the Smeedia perfection, where it's like, you know, it'll be as perfect as I can make it. Let me say that. So let's knock out another panel. I don't foresee this one being too bad. There's only 4 riv nuts and Cleckos I gotta do on this side. So let's get this side knocked out real quick. This one shouldn't take too long. I went ahead and knocked out this side also. This piece is pretty secure on there. Like, it's a little floppy, but I still have to put 2 up here. Like I said, this is like the worst fitting part of the kit is the gas cap. So I can fix that. That's not a huge problem. Remember how last time I was like, this piece does poke out, but it's got that tab. If you open up the door here, I went ahead and just put like a riv nut and one of the screws in right there just to keep it down. So now when you close the door, I still have to do this bottom piece down here. But when you close the door now, everything lines up beautifully. The body gap on this side is way better than the body gap on the other side. Over here, there's pretty much no body gap. And on this side, it's about 1 mile long. So, I mean, it's like I said, any kit is gonna have its flaws. A replica kit especially is gonna have probably a little bit more flaws, but overall, I'm like stoked with the fitment on everything. I did make a boo-boo and I did drill that hole a little bit too big, so I just need to step that up to an M6x1 for riv nut. All of these are M5x1, so it's an easy fix. I have those at home. The last body panel to really get on here is this fender right here. I don't know if I'm gonna do it tonight because I have to go run errands with Melanie. I have to go to Home Depot, so I might grab some other like body cutting stuff while I'm there to try to do these cuts a little bit better. I don't know. Give me like 5 minutes, clean up a little bit, and we'll think about it. Floors are swept, everything's cleaned up except for this back table, which I'm gonna leave out because it's all the stuff that I need. I got a couple questions that I wanna answer real quick on blue. Are we still doing a fender exit? Yes, we're still doing a fender exit. If you guys look, there is still room right there on the fender to fit a fender exit. We're still doing a fender exit. I like the fender exit. I like the sound of the fender exit. I like seeing fire shoot out of my fender, okay? Plus it's good for like videos and whatnot. You see fire shooting out of the fender of a car, of course you're gonna click on that. Secondly, why am I focusing on doing bodywork to blue versus making it running right now? Because I don't have an engine. So there's not a lot I can do. I have 2 things that I can do with blue in the meantime while we wait for our engine to come back. Well, 3 things. Body work, which I have to do the body work before the car goes to fabrication, because we need everything to be 100% for how the car is going to be when it goes to fab, so that way when the fabricator builds everything, he can build around how the car currently is. Us sending it to fab, doing all this body work, finding out something doesn't fit because I changed something in the body work, so we need to get the body 100% solid to where the car is going to be in order to send the car to fabrication. Why did I buy wheels before buying the engine and all the other stuff? Well, A, I can't pay for the engine yet because it's not done, but B, in order to get the car to fabrication, I obviously need wheels and tires, because with doing a fender exit, again, a problem we were having before was the exhaust would rub on the tire every now and then. So with building this and doing all this stuff now, we can build the dump tube and the downpipe and everything like that to avoid the critical areas like the tire rubbing the fender, all of that stuff. So I hope that kind of clears up those questions as to why we're focusing on some of this stuff. The other stuff I can do is wiring, but I'm holding off on wiring mainly till after fabrication. So that way, once I can see how all the exhaust pipes are done, everything like that, I know what areas to avoid and what areas to target for wiring, wiring harness locations and everything like that. So there's reasons as to why I'm doing everything. It's like a puzzle. You can't go to the next step till you do this step. So we can't go to fabrication until the bodywork's done. We can't start the wiring until it comes back from fabrication. So you see, there's steps to this. There's steps. But let's get in the car. Let's go back to the house. I'm gonna go pee. Let's go to Home Depot. Let's go get some goodies. Goodies. I don't know why I'm rubbing my stomach. I'm not getting food. I should though. I'm hungry. The Home Depot. So Home Depot wouldn't let me film for some reason. Well, obviously, I mean, it's their property. They wouldn't let me film inside. It's no big deal. It's whatever. We went there. We got an entire Dremel 4300 accessory set with 48 pieces. You know how many pieces that is? That's a lot of pieces. So now that we have the Dremel, when we go back to the shop, we can finish getting the wide body fully installed, at least like bolted up. Like I said, I still have to cut the rear fenders, still have to weld them, and still have to seam seal them. I need to order a caulking gun because mine has disappeared. So I may miss tomorrow's upload, and if I do, I apologize. Tomorrow I'm taking Melanie, which is today for you guys, to get her eye surgery done. She's getting her second round of LASIK or PRK. I don't know which one it is. I'm pretty sure it's PRK, but regardless, I'll be chauffeuring her around tomorrow to go get her surgery, go get her eye drops and whatnot, all that fun stuff. So there may not be a video, and if there isn't, I apologize. But with that, that's all I got for you guys on this one. So if you like the video, you know what to do. Go ahead, hit that like button, turn it black, blue, green, yellow, purple, silver, cyan, whatever color it turns for you. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel and you want to be one of these corners, not quite sure which one I'll put it in quite yet, but with that, I will catch you guys in the next one. So peace out, homies.